Imagine this. The superintendent of the largest school district in Iowa is detained by ICE, effectively vanished from public view, and within days, he's stripped of his license, his paycheck, and now his job. His name is Dr. Ian Roberts, and the way this is being handled should alarm anyone who cares about due process, fairness, and justice in the United States of America. I'm Anne Marie, the founder and owner of AntiHR, an HR consulting company that provides employee-focused consulting. I spent over 25 years managing and overseeing human resources, and I am also a licensed attorney. While I don't provide legal advice on this platform, I share insights based on my deep understanding of how human resources really works. My niche is teaching employees not just how to recognize discrimination and other wrongdoing in their workplace, but how to leverage that recognition into negotiating a paid exit, severance, without having to hire an attorney or file a legal claim. HR routinely does this in workplaces, but they're not going to tell you that because HR is not your friend. If this is something you think you may need to explore based on your workplace situation, please visit my website to book a discovery call. Now, before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, but do so constructively, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video when it drops. So who is Dr. Ian Roberts? Dr. Roberts is originally from Guyana, a country in South America. He grew up in Brooklyn, competed internationally in track and field, and built a long career in school leadership. In 2023, he became superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools in the state of Iowa, the largest school district in the state. He was praised at the time as a strong visionary leader. The media ran glowing profiles about how he would shape education in Des Moines. He passed background checks, submitted his paperwork, got his professional license, and was hired. By all accounts, he was doing a very good job. However, late last week, ICE detained Dr. Roberts, claiming he lacked valid work authorization and had a final removal order from May 2024. They allege he fled a traffic stop and that a school-issue vehicle contained a loaded handgun, a knife, and cash. These are very serious allegations, but here's the problem. No one outside of ICE has been able to verify them. No one has spoken to Dr. Roberts. And for days, it wasn't even clear where he was exactly being held. That's not transparency. That's a disappearance. Since the arrest, the system has moved very fast. The Iowa Board of Educational Examiners revoked Dr. Roberts' administrator license, saying he lacks legal presence. The school board first moved him from paid to unpaid leave and then accepted his resignation. We're not even sure he offered one. Career erased in days. Within less than a week, he went from superintendent to detainee to unemployed, without a hearing, without due process, without the ability to speak for himself. And here's the question no one is asking. How did the system hire the top educator in the state's largest district without truly verifying his immigration status at the front door? How did that happen? He filled out forms, he passed multiple background checks, he held a state license. So who failed the verification? Why didn't any state or federal system flag an issue at the time? If true, this is an institutional failure, wouldn't you say? Not just an Ian Roberts failure. But this is very typical of how white supremacy systems move, especially when dealing with Black people. Where is the due process here? Where is the presumption of innocence? Why should anyone believe ICE, an agency with a long documented record of lies, abuse, and racial profiling? Look at how quickly the narrative has flipped. Just a year ago, the media praised Dr. Roberts as a visionary leader. Now, these same outlets repeat ICE claims and allegations almost as if they're fact, word for word. Gun, knife, cash, illegitimate. The district is now in lockstep with the state, punishing him before the truth is even known. And to make matters worse, Media outlets are now circling back to highlight that while Dr. Roberts holds a doctorate from Trident University, he did not complete a separate program at Morgan State University that was once listed during his hire. That fact was already known in 2023, but suddenly in the middle of this crisis, it's being dragged back out as if it's a new revelation. This is a classic tactic when a system is trying to discredit someone. It is used to chip away at the person's credibility and to distract us from the real issue. A Black man in leadership being disappeared by the state without any due process. Let's be very clear. They want you to believe that a Harvard-trained PhD-holding superintendent, a man who passed every official background check and licensing step, was somehow ineligible to work there all along. They want you to believe that when ICE found him, he just happened to have a loaded gun, a knife, and cash in his school-issued vehicle. They want you to forget that he publicly took the position that ICE was not welcome on public school grounds in the Des Moines school system, a stance that directly protected immigrant families. They want you to stop seeing him as a respected educator and instead to see only their framing: illegal, dangerous, unfit. And here's something I need to say very plainly. Black people who step into leadership inside majority white systems and spaces are often told, we're being hired to make change. But those spaces almost never let us do it without exacting a cost. I know this personally and from my lived experience. In the last American company I worked for, I was the first Black executive ever in the history of the organization, and it did not end well. Because the truth is, they may hire you, they may tell you they want change, but they never ever really do. And they will never truly let you make change. And if you manage to push forward, it will come at a cost to yourself and to your people. That's why I always give Black people a side eye when they've been the only one in white spaces for a long and extended period of time. Because I know the price that is usually demanded: silence, sellout, survival at the expense of your own people. I suspect Dr. Ian Roberts refused to play that game. He didn't bend. He didn't back down from saying ICE had no place in schools, and so they got rid of him in the cruelest possible way. We are not going to know the full truth unless we hear directly from him, and I don't know when or if that will ever happen. But until then, we must speak his name. We must demand his release. Say his name. Demand answers. We cannot allow this man to just vanish. His name is Ian Roberts. Where the hell is he? We must demand answers from our senators, from our representatives, from the state of Iowa's officials. First of all, where exactly is Dr. Ian Roberts? And why can't the community see or speak with him? What independent evidence supports ICE's weapons claim? Who failed the verification when he was hired, and how will those institutions be held accountable? Flood their phones, flood their inboxes and their timelines. Refuse silence, refuse complicity. This is not just about one man. This is about all of us. If they can erase him, they can erase any person. If you found this breakdown useful, please hit the like button, comment, but do so constructively, and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a video when it drops. Follow me across social media. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky at the AntiHR HR Lady. Links and sources are in the description of this video or in my link tree if you're watching this on TikTok. As always, this is Anne Marie. This is the Anti-HR. HR is not your enemy, but they are definitely not your friend, but I am. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.